Ladies and gentlemen of the winning team, today I'm going to be sharing with you all a very, very special video. A very special video because I'm going to be sharing with you guys my best moments of 2023. And I have so much stuff to show you. I'm surrounded by stuff because it's been a crazy year. I've been traveling. Where did I go this year? I've been to Italy twice this year. I've been to New York. I've been to Scotland. I even went to Iceland. Never talked about that, but nevertheless, I've had experiences that I never expected I would have and opportunities that I just am so grateful to God for, because I'm like, God, I at the start of this year, all I had said to God was, God, your will, your way. That was my prayer. Your will, your way. My prayer literally has been, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Because I'm like, God, I've learned that his ways are better than my ways. Like the Bible says, his thoughts are better than my thoughts. And so we're going to talk about everything that's transpired. And I'm going to show you guys some stuff so that we can really realize that this really happened, because it's kind of insane to me that this stuff really happened. So to kick off in the beginning, I want to talk about, for the first, one of my best moments of this year was when I got invited to where I went to sixth form. You guys will remember, because I did a video about this that was attached to my birthday vlog. And basically what happened was, where I went to study when I was 16 to 18, which I'm just clarifying this for people who aren't in the UK, where I went to school in those 2 years, they invited me this year. I got an email and it was like, we want to invite you to be an exhibitor at our careers fair. As in, I had my own table that I was able to decorate exactly as I wanted to, to promote my business, my teaching business. Now, I don't even know how this woman, and ironically, the woman who invited me happens to be the head teacher at my brother's school, which I've never met the woman. I don't know how she even came across my name, honestly. But anyway, I get invited. They're like, we want you to come. There's going to be thousands of young people showing up. And I thought, this is amazing. So you guys, if you remember, I did my whole table. I set it up. I bought my sign here because look, I was supposed to have an actual sign that I ordered, right? Another sign. I had lots of different signage and stuff. Okay. But anyway, lots of things went wrong. And then this also went wrong. So this I never actually took. But basically, if you can see here, I have this like blackboard sign. So I messed it up basically because of how I stuck it on. But anyway, we never used this. But the point is, this is what it was for. And it says, the winning team education, specializing in hybrid STEM creative careers. So that was insanely cool to me, to be sitting there amongst all these different businesses. Like GSK was there, GlaxoSmithKline, a huge pharmaceutical industry company. The police were there. What's it called? Not Homeland Security. All these different places had stalls in this thing, in this exhibition. And then there was me and colleges. And I was sat next to two very wholesome ladies. One was from one of the colleges, I think it's like Hertfordshire College. And then on the other side, it was one of the ladies. And they were trying to recruit me, by the way, to work at the sixth form itself. They were like, what do we have to do to get you to have a job here? And it was just insane, because 10 years ago, when I was 16, I started going there. And, my teachers at the time did not really believe that I was that capable in chemistry in particular, which I can kind of understand from some aspects, but from others, I do feel like they kind of gave up. So for me, the only reason I really even went was because I did it for myself as a teenager, because I fought through anyway. I continued anyway. I went to study chemistry, and look where I'm at now. You're inviting me, and I'm getting to talk to the young people. And they loved my table because I purposely thought, what is going to draw in the young people? Sweets, candy, and games. So my table had all sorts of games that they could do, and they had challenges. If they could complete challenges, they would get free prizes. And it was just my way of getting them in to talk, because really, I wanted to just talk to them about their careers, and they all thought it was very cool that I used to go there. They were like, really? You used to go here? Wow, 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 wow. It was very, very, very cool. I loved that. So that was an incredible moment. I couldn't believe it when they offered me to go. I was like, how do you even know that I have a business? Anyway, it's insane. So that was amazing. So that was number one. Number two is going to seem so odd and like left field, but it was the Dressrosa arc from One Piece. I'm not going to get into it in depth, but what I will say is it was just telling to me, and it was just so confirmational to me about my life, because in this story arc, which I won't get too deep into it, One Piece for me is like the best ever written story after, obviously after God. You can't compete with the Lord. But I love One Piece. In fact, I haven't properly watched it again since just after Dressrosa because it was just too good. And I loved it because you've got this group of young people, pirates, who are essentially, everywhere that they go, they care. This is all my favorite animes are like this as well. Everywhere that they go, they care about helping the people where they're at, even though it doesn't help necessarily matter for their overall goal sometimes. But then also they are going against, like, the corrupt governments and all of that. I love all of that. And so watching the Dressrosa story arc and the Birdcage, I can't even get into it, guys, because I don't want to be a spoiler. So we'll just leave it at that and go straight to Italy, because that was the next big thing, was going to Italy. Like, my friend, and here's how it goes. I was watching One Piece. That's why I even mentioned One Piece. I'm watching One Piece, just chilling with the Lord, trusting God, whatever. And my friend sends me a message. She's like, hey, girl. Do you want to come to Italy? Me and my husband were talking and we were thinking, like, do you want to come to Italy and sing in Italy? Yeah. So that's what happened, ladies and gentlemen. So that was in like March. And then May, off I went on the airplane, flew into Milan airport in Italy, met my friend for the first time. All of our relationship has only almost solely been about just us and God. Like, I met her through ministry. So we don't really talk a lot about the fact that she's a singer and about what either of us do in our normal day job, because we're so busy talking about what is the Lord saying and, praying for each other and all that type of stuff. So this is the first time we've met in person and we just hit it off immediately. It was just amazing. And, she was like, her and her family, her and her husband, they really looked after me. It was actually really nice because she's so genuine and she's one of those people, she's one of those friends, even when I've been going through so much stuff recently, that sends me just really, she prays for me all the time. And she says such nice things. Like, the other day she was saying to me that, and this is while we were voice noting while I was still in America, and she was saying, something, you always talk about yourself and how you're not really close, you don't really like your opinions on people, and the person that you talk about seems like somebody else, because the you that I know is beautiful and stunning and an incredible woman of God. And I just couldn't believe everything that she was saying. What a blessing. So I got to meet her, I got to go on tour. Here's my little lanyard I used to have to wear. You can see it says on there, it says, where is it? Zucchero sugar for Forna Chiari. Never bothered to try and say that before. Worldwide Tour 2023. And so my name was on it. It has rubbed out. So this is what we used to have to wear on set. Like, when we would arrive at the performance place, all of them, if you walk in wearing one of these, no one's going to question why you're here. It was very, very cool. I got to sing. The best moment of all in Italy for me, there was two. One of them was, the first one was when I was at my friend's house, because we had to go through the songs and I was like, I hadn't practiced them. This is the truth, guys. I didn't practice them because I was just like, well, I'm going to figure it out when I get there, because I was having anxiety attacks trying to practice the songs before I got there. Anyway, so there was one day where she was like, girl, yeah. She's like, I need to make time to go through the songs with you. You're new to this and everything. And I was like, thank God that she did that, because I was panicking the whole trip until we did this. So then we stood in her house, in her singing room where she practices singing, and we went through all the songs and she was making me sing the songs. It was so scary, guys, because she's well established. Like, she went to proper like singing training, vocal training with amongst a lot of the greats. She even used to sing in New York City opera and Broadway and everything. So that's just how weird how all these crossovers happen. But anyway, and so there's me standing in her thing, belting these songs out, and she's like, this was it for me. Is the moment she said this. And this is how I know God knows me very well, because he knows that if it wasn't her and her experience and expertise saying this, I would never believe it. Right? I would never believe anybody else other than her. And then one of the friends that I made, and she was like, girl, you're a true soprano, And she was like, I can't believe, she said to me that she can't believe that I really never wanted to sing like that I really was so nervous about singing and it scared me. She can't believe how scary that was. Anyway, that's what happened. We ended up doing it. Loved it. Loved standing on stage. My second favorite moment of being in Italy was standing on stage with her. and my other friend that I made, because my friend who invited me, she was like, I need her to stand next to me on stage. So she's like, I need her to stand next to me on stage. So I was standing in the middle of the two of them on either side, and just in this lovely little, so then my other friend that I made, now I've never made a female friend like that ever in my life. Me and her till now are so close. Like, we're just in very similar places in life. She's a little bit older than me. I'm in very similar places in life right now, and just she's the type of person that whenever I speak, she understands exactly what I'm saying, and I don't know how she does it, but she does. Okay. And so, you know, standing in between them on stage and just being like, just looking one side and looking the other side. I remember there was a night when we were at the final night in Reggio Emilia, which we were at the RCF Arena, the largest outdoor venue in all of Europe. The crowd was something like 30,000 something people. It was insane. And the crowd was so big that I couldn't even see to the end of the crowd at the back. That's how big the crowd was. It was just insane. And so to have these two women that I'm like looking left and right while singing on stage and everything with was like a dream. And all these people in the audience, and just watching Zucchero, who is so good at what he does. Like, I can't express how much seeing greatness in person like this, singing with a live band on stage, singing with a band who's worked with some of the greats like Whitney Houston and Prince and all this type of stuff, was absolutely insane. And to think that it all happened because, and the people who were there, this is why I'm saying I have to show off about God, because the people who were there, they all were working in singing and whatever. They'd worked hard to get to that position. I was there because I had a friend in ministry who, her and her husband were talking about me while they were like, whatever, and like, should we invite her to come and sing? They never heard me even sing before I got there. They heard me sing for the first time while I was there, on the way to the first location that we went to. That wasn't even to do with the tour. It was a bonus thing. She's like, girl, do you want to do another job out here as well? Might as well do this. We're going to be singing in this palace in Torino. I was like, sure. Because I'm crazy, right? And so that whole experience of watching greatness, seeing people that are actually so good at what they do, was exactly what I needed to be pulled away from like just so much dysfunction and disorder in my life that I've seen, and see people who actually are doing something. And it lit a fire under me, I'm not going to lie, going to Italy. So that was amazing. I'm going to have to wrap this up because I need to go on. There's still other points to talk about. Here's a very important one. Shoes. If you guys don't know, you won't know because I wouldn't have talked about it before. I love trainers. I love Jordans, most importantly. And so this year I finally, because 3 years ago when I moved out from London, I basically threw away or sold or donated all of my stuff, like pretty much all of my stuff, because I was like, God was like, you need to start from scratch. I need you to start from scratch and start with a clean slate. Like, let's let the past go. So we've been spending a lot of time between me and God the last couple of years, removing the past and doing things anew. And so this year was very much a new year for me. So one thing that I haven't had for a while until this year was Jordans and a lot of other things, because I had to get rid of stuff, because the Lord was like, get rid of everything. It's attached to the past, whatever. So here we go, guys. I've got 5 pairs of shoes that I want to show you. 2 of them are Jordans. 2 of them are not even shoes. They're like functional things. And one of them is an absolutely stunning pair of shoes. So let's go. Let's start with the Jordans. So first of all, and by the way, it's crazy how I've realized that with the shoes I bought, this always happens. When it comes to like buying Jordans, I don't focus on like what's the most rare limited edition ones. I just find the ones I think are the nicest, and then after the fact discover they are the rare limited edition ones. So anyway, starting with these bad boys. So I've got here the Barcelona ones here, and this is this extra little detailing that's on the here. They are red, by the way, in person. Stunning. When I was in Italy, even the drummer shoe there, she was like, girl, I love your Jordans, when she saw me in these, which being complimented about my shoes, my Jordans, is the best compliment. I prefer that to being told I'm beautiful. I prefer that to being told I'm nice, whatever the heck. The Jordans. So these Jordans right here, oh my gosh, so gorgeous, so gorgeous. So then we've got another pair of Jordans here. Oh, here we go. I just wore these just now when I went out, so why do they look a bit scuffed? These Jordans, oh my gosh, I need to give them a bit of a clean. These Jordans, are you dumb? This is like my favorite style of Jordan. I think I would have these type of Jordans in every color, like that I can. Well, they have to fit my aesthetic, which now I live and breathe the winning team colors, by the way. Like I live and breathe the winning team now, so that's the thing. So there's those Jordans. Now, brace yourselves, guys, because I bought 2 other functional types of shoes for the hobbies that I wanted to do for a very long time that I picked up this year, that I bought this year. Starting with tap shoes. I bought tap shoes. I wanted to learn tap. I did like my friend who used to do tap taught me some tap before. I was like, I have to learn to tap dance. So it's been a long awaited dream for me to learn to tap. So I bought tap shoes. And another thing that I wanted to do for a long time is roller skating. So I bought these roller skates. Look at them, guys. Stunning. The only thing that would have made these better is if this was a lion, not a tiger. But roller skating. I wanted to roller skate in Italy, but I didn't have a chance like the first time I went because I was just so busy. And then finally, guys, these shoes. Oh gosh, you're not ready for this. You are not ready. So here's my other shoes. Now these I got the second time I went to Italy, and it was one of those, me and the shoes made eye contact. Like the second I walked into the store, I just saw them and I was like, because I don't like shopping, but what I do actually like to do is when I see something, I just like to let fate run its course. So the second I walked in the store, even my friend, she was like, I could tell immediately that you were going to buy these. Guys, stop it. Stop it. Look at these, guys. Are you dumb? Are you? And can you see the flame? What is it? Can you guys see this? There's like the flame detail. Oh my gosh. I love these, guys. Like, ooh. Listen, when I put those shoes on, I don't know what to tell you anymore. So all of those, love all of those. Those were big, huge wins for me because I'm like, this is what I do. Trainers, this is why I kind of dislike YouTube, because YouTube is a lot more focused on my upper body and I prefer my lower body as a whole anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because I'd be wearing nice shoes and this, and anyway. So those are the shoes, all of which were acquired this year. Let's move on. Sidemen charity match with my brothers. Now, the Sidemen charity match, I don't have anything to show you guys for this one. I watched a Sidemen charity match with my brothers this year, and I only got into watching the Sidemen last year because of my brothers again. And I watched the charity match last year, the 3-hour one, and I was like, okay, I'm clearly interested because I've watched the whole thing. But the reason why this is a part of one of my best moments of 2023 is because me and my brothers, when I first moved back out of London 3 years ago, nearly 3 years ago, we didn't have good relationships. My youngest brother, because I moved out when he was so young, he just didn't really know me. He was just like, oh, I just have a sister who's an adult kind of thing. And my other brother, the one who's only a couple of years younger than me, hated me. He's hated me most of his life. And I know why, because we've both been played against each other and all sorts of things. And so when I first left London, like for like a good solid maybe like year, every single night I would cry praying for my brothers. Like I would be praying like crazy for them for hours because my heart was broken. Like I could feel how they were spiritually, like what they were going through, and I could fit, and our relationships were shattered. Right. And so for me to have fast forwarded to this year, and like me and my brothers have all organized, like, oh, we're going to sit and watch the Sidemen charity match. It was on the hottest day of the year. I came through, I made the brisket. Like we have our like roles when it comes to stuff now. I always cook like a proper main meal, like that everybody can eat, like something special, something that's not something we do every day. And my other brother will always buy snacks. He'll buy snacks, and the other brother just gets to show up because it's cool having siblings who are older than you, who are a lot older than you. So that's what happens, and we just chilled, and it was just amazing because, like, for me, every single moment I share with my brothers is a victory because our relationships were just so bad previously. Like we weren't close. Now we're close. We talk about stuff. We tell each other we love each other all the time. It's really wholesome and lovely. And I thank God because I really believe that God intervened and he heard my prayers and he heard my cries and he did something about it. And they've transformed and I've transformed and our relationship has transformed. And so to share moments like that on the hottest day of the year, where I'd be very annoyed because I hate being too hot, but to have that with them is just like, it's just insane. And that we have that relationship now where all three of us are close and we're close as a unit is just means everything to me, because I know that whenever I do next, wherever we live around the world, what we have now isn't something we had before. Now we have each other. Now we know that like we have this relationship and it's solid. So I praise God for that. Praise the name of Jesus. So next of all, let's move on to the next travels. So my next very important moment this year was going to Scotland and visiting Edinburgh. I love Scotland, by the way. This year I fell in love with Edinburgh. I used to always be more of a Glasgow gal, but I love Edinburgh. And Scotland is my favourite place in the United Kingdom, by the way. While I was there, where did we end up, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, well, none other than the what is it called? The Harvard School of Scientology. Oh, yes. And if it wasn't for me going, guys, I need you to understand how crazy this is. If it wasn't for the fact that as we were passing, so who I was with, we weren't even planning on going in there. We were actually on our way to go and do like a walking tour where you can they take you on a walk and you tour around the area, whatever. And I was so looking forward to that, right? As we're going, we spot this. We want to get a free personality test. And it'd been a long time since I'd even bothered to think about Scientology. So I was like, hey, let's do this, because I believe that sometimes things happen and you just got to strike anyway. There was no plan to do it. We just went in there and we just whatever, then it was whatever. But guys, that opened a can of worms. If I'd never gone into that building that day, if I'd never sat there and done my personality test, we would never have had the Scientology series, the Quran series, Revelations, because all of that was all a domino effect from a very last minute impulsive decision to walk into that building that day. That's how crazy it is. So that is a huge moment, because obviously Scientology is really important. Now I'm like, oh my gosh, I should have been knowing about this. So that's why that was such a huge thing. And especially because it was not part of the plan. And a past version of myself would have been so religious in thinking, oh, you shouldn't go and look in there because it's not to do with God. And no, but then the version of myself now who knows God personally knows that any truth, the real truth always stands up for itself. There's no risk in going in there for me because I'm rooted and grounded in God, right? So praise the name of Jesus for that. And on that note, my sixth moment, I think, is it sixth or seventh? I can't remember because I kept adjusting the list, but is this year doing my Bible challenges for the months. So doing 1 day per chapter of Proverbs for January and 1 day per chapter for Revelations later at the end of this year. And the reason why that's important is because the times when I decide to do these Bible challenges, it's because I recognize that I really need to be in the scriptures. And making them YouTube videos helps to hold me accountable. And also it's time to share for you guys. If you guys want to hear from me, I think it's really important that I don't just talk about God and the Bible, but that I actually go through the Bible, because it's not about me. It's about God and it's about the truth. And so why am I going to I should make an effort, to always, I want to make the effort to show you guys what the Bible is, what the Bible is saying, and also just to give you an idea of how we get to where we get to. So the Bible challenges for me this year were just so important. So yeah, next memory in the list, or a moment of the year, is, where is this? Here it is. Oh, I didn't show you guys my Bible for the Bible one. Here's my Bible right here. Is being in New York and reading the Britney Spears book. So it's really crazy how it all turned out, because while I was in New York, right, I spent a lot of time by myself. I spent some time with people that I met, right, or whatever, and just strategic things I was doing, because I wanted there were certain things that I came to achieve. There was a whole list of things. Anyway, and I did achieve a lot of them. So anyway, it was crazy to be reading this, because Britney in the book was talking about New York, which if I'd never been there while I was there, I wouldn't know what she was talking about, which was crazy, because I was seeing and learning the places as I was there. Obviously went to Scientology as well again. By the way, guys, shall I go to Scientology in London? How have I not even thought to do that? I've gone to Scientology in other places, but in London, I could literally go to London. What do you guys think? I think I'm going to have to go. You guys know how this goes, right? Anyway, to be reading that and to be reading the parallels, because we were in a parallel situation where she was needing a break and staying in her apartment in New York and going through a lot of stuff, and I was feeling quite similarly to her in a lot of senses. That was why I found so much peace being by myself in New York, because nobody that I know can really access me. I can just be at peace with myself and with God, and the people that I was meeting were lovely. And the experiences I was having were lovely. I didn't bother to even talk. If you guys notice, I'm not one of those travel vlog people. I don't do that. Even though I did have good food and stuff like that, and I did do some experiences while I was there, I just never talk about it because I'm not that gal. So yeah, it was really interesting to read this and really just I can't explain it in New York. And New York is literally the most beautiful place I think I've ever visited in my life. So we won't get too much into that for today. But yeah, so that was the next moment. We've only got a couple left. Next of all is I had a breakthrough with one of my students this last couple of months. I didn't say this earlier, but I tried to go through all my list in like chronological order of the year, but I forgot to mention that. But anyway, I had an absolute breakthrough moment with one of my students because she had sat her exams in May, June. She didn't do as well as she wanted. She got her exams back and sent me everything. Her and her mum and everybody, they sent me everything. Now, the way that I got to work with her in the first place was that they had been looking for somebody to help. I wasn't looking to teach, guys. I wasn't trying to teach, tutor or nothing, right? But a year ago, August last year, they found an ad that I'd put out for my local area, and they were like, can you please try? We've been trying with so many different people and it's not working. They don't even live near me. They were like, can you do this online? So this is all happening for the first time last year in August. They're like, oh, can you do this online? I've taught before, but always in person. And I was just like, oh gosh, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And anyway, I agreed to it immediately as soon as we had the first session. I remember it was the 8th of August. That was the first day we ever did it last year. They were like, yeah, my daughter said that she wants it to be you. She said she likes you. And since then, that family and me have become very close. I teach 3 of the different kids in that household at 3 different varying levels of education. It's to the point where I'll be there talking to them in the car, while everybody's in the car and I'm on loudspeaker. We're very close, and I have to really appreciate that family so much. So after the results came in, and I talked to a lot of the kids about not just that family in particular, but the other ones as well. I talked to them about what was going on with the exams. I realized that we need to completely change how we're teaching this stuff altogether. I already had feelings because of my experience, but that's what we did. So this term, starting August, September, I decided to adopt a very wild teaching strategy altogether, because I realized what the problems were. And I tell everybody who I ever work with kids, I'm like, look, I don't teach things the way they do in school, just so you know. But you'll get the results. Anyway, fast forward. And in our last couple of lessons at the end of this year, my gosh, has she had a breakthrough, this student. She's the longest running student I've taught since I've started teaching now online. And she's at the point now, and this is my goal with all the kids, where they are, bearing in mind I teach maths and science, if you guys didn't know. And I've been teaching physics, which is so good. Because they were like, can you teach physics as well? Because we need somebody to teach physics. And I was like, well, yeah, actually I can teach physics. So anyway, so she's now at the point now where she can do the question, work out if she's happy with how she did her answer. And if she has made a mistake, figure it out for herself on her own, because that's the goal. So you don't get taught that in school. In school, they don't teach you to be able to figure stuff out on your own, and they don't teach you the strategies of an exam, because in school, they teach you one topic, one thing. But in reality, in actual real life, you're not going to be asked just about one thing and one topic. You're going to be asked about multiple topics in one question. I'll give you guys a very simple example of that. This is what makes the exams hard. This is why I teach my kids very differently. I teach them very, very different, the kids that are I teach, because they have to be prepared for a situation where you'll be asked, it will seem like it's a question to do with statistics, but it will be statistics with algebra included. So yeah, my students become very good at algebra, and they usually love it at the end, because I'm like, this is going to pop up everywhere. So she got herself to the point now where before she was never sure of her answer. She was always second guessing herself. This is what most people are like with the sciences and maths. And she would actually choose the wrong answer instead of the right one. In fact, in her exams, she even crossed out the right answers to write the wrong ones, which we saw. To now, it's I don't even have to be there. She's just she's figuring it out by herself. She's like, oh, well, I thought it was this. And then she talks with confidence and with conviction. And that's the goal I always say to them. You have to be confident as a mathematician and scientist. You have to have confidence in your logic. And teaching logical thinking is basically most of what I have to do, is reminding people how to think logical. So that for me is a huge win, because I was saying to her, I was like, I don't even have to be here. That's the goal, because if she can do that, that's what she can do in the exam. Because I always say to the students, unfortunately, I'm not going to be there. Nobody else is going to be there. So we have to find strategies for how you figure out what to do when nobody else is there. So now her being at this position, and how all the other kids are also improving, but I'm using her in particular because she was really anxious about the exams. She's in a very good position to just keep working on that skill until exams come next year, May, June, and can't wait for that. So that is a huge freaking deal to me, because I love Love, love, love. The teaching, I'll be honest, guys, this year taught me a lot, because when I was in Italy, I was living well. They paid for everything, all expenses paid, food was paid, hotel was paid, flights were paid, travel was paid, everything was paid, and I was paid, and I was paid significantly more than I get paid for teaching. And it just reminded me about how this world kind of sucks, because how is it that I'm teaching the youth of tomorrow important life skills, but standing on stage I'm getting paid way more. Helping the youth of tomorrow, I'm being paid peanuts. Doesn't make any sense. Now, let's go to, I guess, what's going to be the final moment of 2023. Where is this? Go on. Hold on. And this is to do with one of you guys. And I am just in awe. Like, this is literally one of the most precious and beautiful gifts I have ever received in my entire life. And it's from one of you guys. So look at this cute little angel. I love this angel, by the way, and shout out to Tim and Sarah. Sarah, who made this and sent it to me for Christmas. I was like, I can't believe this. Right now, listen, look how cute this is. I want to keep this forever. I tried to put it on the Christmas tree, but then I got paranoid about what if I do something to it and it gets like, and something happens to it. So now I need to protect it at all costs, because I need to keep this forever. Anyway, and it says here on the little note, "Hi Nyasha, just a little something to wish you a Merry Christmas. Just unclip it, unfurl it, and hang it somewhere. Don't worry, no Bibles were hurt in the process. Lol. Love, Sarah and Tim." Guys, this gift is number one on my list of best moments of 2023, because this gift was like the thing that was like the literal cherry on top, the icing on the cake of like a whole year, which you guys have just heard about, where I had no plans. I gave everything up to God. I had to take so many risks. I had to overcome so many fears, like my fear of flying. I became addicted to flying, by the way, guys, because I remember every time I would get off the plane and I'd be walking past the engines, I'd be like, I need to book another flight. I need to do this again. You know what I'm saying? And singing was another thing. Like, so many things that I did this year, and so many like fears that I overcame. And you guys were the best thing about this year. You guys, the winning team members, you guys and your continued patience, understanding, support, help, comments, everything. And so when Tim and Sarah was like, can we send you something for Christmas? I was like, yes. And it made it all so real, because it was like, I already know that you guys are real folks. And like I said to you guys, one thing that what made the year amazing, I don't know if I said this already actually, but one thing that made the year amazing was that everything that I was doing, everywhere I was going, I could always have to speak with you guys. Like, the winning team is everywhere. The winning team is everywhere. In fact, I almost met some of you guys this year as well, like while I was traveling around the world and stuff, right? I almost met some of you guys as well. And it's just like amazing to think that you guys hit that subscribe button in this to this crazy gal like myself, who just is all over the place. And the only thing that I think that makes sense is that I love God, and that God is just amazing. And so that is what this signifies to me. It signifies that like I've got people, and that's what I really have this year. I made new friends. I have you guys. And, you know, I'm leaving the year feeling very content, like in the sense of, and looking forward to next year, because I have people that send me gifts. Are you kidding me? And I was like telling people about it, like, because I'd be like, do you have people as cool as mine? Because I have people sending me gifts. I have people on my YouTube channel sending me gifts. How are you as cool as me? Because I feel like the coolest person, because and so, yeah, I was going on and on about this. I've been going, and I will be going on and on about this, guys, because it is just beautiful and it's just so lovely, and you guys are just amazing, and I'm truly grateful. Like, one thing I have to say is, if whatever I've put out on there has attracted all of you guys as you are, you wonderful, incredible folks, then I must be doing something well, because I've met the best people on here. All of you guys who I speak to, some of you only read in comments, a lot of you, we speak off of the comments, we talk in real life. And thank you for your patience. Sorry guys for my inconsistencies. I'm doing my best to improve and elevate myself as a person. And so next year I have a lot of interesting things that I would like to do alongside you guys. I wish every single one of you guys an incredible 2024. Please tell me some of your best moments. Tell me what this year was like for you. I asked you guys this in another video, and ain't nobody answering me. So I need some answers, okay? No, but seriously though, guys, if life's a game, let's play to win. Like, I literally live by this. Every single thing that I've just told you guys about is me eat, sleeping, living, breathing, bleeding my message of winning, because I really want to see everybody win. And I really love this group that we've got going on here, this tribe that we've built. And so, yeah, guys, I'm so grateful for you guys. I'm so grateful to God that he has blessed me so greatly, not just with everything that's happened, but with you all. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. This might be my last video of 2023. Who knows? God bless every single one of you, and I'll see you in my next one.